Hey y'all, welcome to For the Fans, where tonight we are so excited to talk about the premiere of Big Brother 24. And we got to meet
Yeah,
our
let's go.
wonderful 16 new house guests. Sheldon, how you doing?
That was a fun night. You know what? I usually don't like premiere nights.
Mhm.
Um, and I generally don't like a lot of challenges on premiere nights. But I kind of like those challenges, except for the earring one, and
Okay,
we'll talk about
okay.
it in a second. But I kind of like the other challenges. Um, so it was a fun night, getting to know some new people and a few people who surprised me tonight. So
Yeah,
overall, good night.
yeah. And for the first time ever, we're bringing y'all our friend Mike. Mike, how are you?
I'm doing good. It was nice to hear that intro music for Big Brother. It just gets all the energy going, and I was just excited. They could have done anything tonight, and I would have loved it. Just because it's Big Brother, it's back, and we're ready to
Yeah,
go.
I agree with that. Like, I can't help I'm whenever Big Brother's on, I'm like, "Okay, I like Big Brother more than Survivor." But then when Survivor's on, I'm like, "Okay, Survivor's definitely my
Yeah,
favorite." And I can't help it, like, when they're, like, running into the house, you do get a little excited for them, and you're like, "Okay, this is fun. I love a new season." So,
Do you folks picture yourselves running into the house just like as if it's you?
no.
yes, I do. I do. Like I'm like, how are they not kissing the floor? Like some of the notes I wrote down were just like, who held the door for people who didn't hold the door for like those little things. I'm like,
Yeah.
they're gonna lose the game. They're getting voted out because I think
Yeah.
about them.
Yeah, I mean, I would just make sure I don't go in first. That curse is still real. So, anyways, let's talk about Julie first because she, of course, looked gorgeous in her little purple fringe dress. We're all so
Yeah.
happy to see JCM back on your screens.
Yeah. What does she do the rest of the year? She works 2 months a year and then calls like what does the woman do? Does she not need a job?
I mean, I don't think she needs a job due to the last name of Moonves. So, no, she
Doesn't
doesn't.
she doesn't she do that, like, Good Morning Show? Does she not do that anymore?
Not anymore.
That's
Oh,
so
okay.
wrong. Like
Well, she got her paycheck, and now she does Big Brother.
yeah, but,
Yeah.
but but if that was the case, why isn't it perfect? Like why does she stumble on words? Like if this is she's working 10 months to prepare for this show, well, why are you screwing up, lady?
Well, we can't all be perfect like us, Sheldon.
Mike is.
And
That's
what's
what I was gonna
hard
say. I
though,
agree we can't all be, but speak for yourself.
I mean, what's hard though is to go from BB Can where we do have Arissa, and I mean Arissa is just dynamic and so engaging and just, makes you feel like you're her friend and you know her through the TV screen. And then you have Julie who is the chin bot. But I can't help it. She's just synonymous with BBUS and I can't help but love her a little bit,
You know,
even
I
through the
don't not love
awkwardness.
I don't not love her, but I didn't get that excited today.
All right, so let's talk about the house. We did get some pictures that dropped yesterday. This theme is the BB Motel.
I
What do you
loved
think?
it, actually. I loved it so much. So, I didn't look at the pictures that came out yesterday. I just waited until the show started, and I watched it, and I loved it so much. Like, it's weird because one of the things I love about Big Brother Canada is like how crazy the house is, like how cool it is, how like futuristic it looks. And I loved how this season of Big Brother, instead of saying like the Big Brother, like, 5-star hotel, like it's the BB motel. And it just looks like they kind of threw some stuff together. Like they did a great job with it, but it doesn't look like they're trying too hard. And I felt like that's what Big Brother needs. Like,
There was a
So,
lot of random tchotchkes everywhere. It was overwhelming. It was a lot. Like, but I don't know. Part of me is feeling while watching the show like this season was an afterthought. I don't know why. I don't know what it is, but it sort of just feels like, oh, okay, we're gonna do a motel and we're gonna
we're
call
gonna
it
do like
a.
an we're gonna do an 80s motel. So I don't necessarily love the theme, but I think I did not like the BB Can 10 house. It was too much, it was too bright. I didn't like the neon colors, and it was my least favorite BB Can house. So I think that having some more muted tones, I appreciate that because BB Can was a lot to look at.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's like kind of like you're expecting this like crazy house. They have all this money to put in and everything, and there's like, no, like this is a motel.
Yeah.
You're gonna go in a motel.
It
Like,
it's a
I
road
mean, I
trip.
know
Yeah,
it's a luxury motel, but It's
Do you
still.
remember like 20 seasons ago when the houses were like, oh, there's a nice dresser, and
Mhm.
that's all you get in the BB
Yeah.
house. And now it's like, here's this little thing on this little dog is there, this little windshield, like every little corner has a little trinket.
Yeah.
I don't
And I mean, it's very well thought out, even though it kind of looks like an afterthought. So, and the theme is going to be different BB Fest. And I saw in one of Julie's interviews, like there's going to be, like a music festival. There's going to be, I don't know, like a movie festival. There's going to be a zing festival. So, what do we think about this? Are they going to stick with it over or under 5 weeks?
2 weeks.
Yeah, I would say
Under.
under definitely.
But with her saying a zing fest, that implies that it's going to have to last pretty damn near the whole season.
Yeah, she says a lot of things.
But do they forget about the twist before we get to Zingbot?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Time will tell.
Time will
Like
tell. All
it's
right.
it's a cool little twist. It's a cool little thing, but it's such. Sometimes I feel like the difference between Big Brother and Survivor is that this is camp, and like you play for a few weeks and you get excited for the theme, and then you kind of just go and focus on camp, which is the game, and the themes don't matter anymore. So I don't know. It's camp.
It's fine. We'll see. We'll see what happens. It's good to
I
be
feel like
optimistic
I'm
in the
negative
beginning.
today. I'm too negative.
Yeah, Sheldon,
You
like
know
what
what?
happened? What happened today? I'm kidding.
We've got our, stuck-up Canadian here who is used to just BB Can bringing it every year, and he's got such low expectations for BBUS.
He had a bad experience at a motel one time, Sheldon. Just talk about it. It's okay.
It still hurts in the rear.
All right, so we get our first group of house guests, and moving in first, we get Jasmine, Kyle, Paloma, and Monty. Any thoughts, any opinions changing in this first group?
Jasmine
Yeah.
Jasmine gave us a lot more personality, a lot more spice, a lot more style. We got it's very strange because I look at her and I'm like, this isn't a Southern Belle, but then you listen to her and this is a Southern Belle, and she's very intriguing to me, and I can't wait to hear more. And Kyle was a little bit annoying, maybe a little bit too much, a little character. I don't know. Like I'm a little bit disappointed in Kyle, and he's gonna get old very quick for everybody in the house, I think. But Jasmine was a star to me tonight.
Yeah, so I share those exact same opinions. Just, we got basically 3 or 4 minutes of content from these people that we had to base all of these opinions on yesterday. And Jasmine just didn't give a lot in those interviews, but just you can see why they cast her because she is very dynamic. And I think the fact that she's kind of like this juxtaposition of like a city and a country girl, and she's got the country accent. And so, I think she's pretty charming and I liked her.
Yeah, and going back to like Kyle, I feel like in the house, I feel like people will, like me right now, want to love him. Like I really want to love this guy, but there's only so many let's goes you can hear in a day. If you're around this guy 24 hours and he drops, 30, let's go, blah, 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 and he's making TikToks without a phone, it's going to get annoying. You know what I mean? So,
Do you
yeah,
think
same thing.
does he
Go ahead.
need a showmance?
I don't think he does because I think he's annoying as hell.
Well,
I'm just gonna lay it
I
out
think
there.
that's why he needs the showmance. Like
Well, he may need one, but I don't know if he has one.
Ooh, that hurts. That's
So look, our boy Kevin's in the chat, and he says that Kyle was playing pickleball, and I did write that down. Kevin you were not super high on Kyle yesterday, and I just wanted to know if that changed your opinion, seeing him play some pickleball.
Kyle didn't hold the door either.
Kyle was the first one in.
And he went in. He was the first one to go. He could have easily been the fourth one in. Here you go, guys. Have a good. He went in and just blocked everyone else out and ran right in.
Whereas Monty was supposed to go in third, but held the door for Paloma and let her go in. And that was like this small little thing of okay, this is a good guy. This is a mensch. Like he's
Mhm.
gonna like, and who knows? Maybe that's a spark for something that's gonna happen. Who knows?
These are the things that
Yeah.
win you the game. Everyone thinks it's strategic play. It's holding the door, being nice to people.
Yeah, I mean, Monte has a good vibe, and Paloma's very, very pretty. So who knows? All right. So as this first group's moving in, we get Julie saying, "You're going to go in and you're going to get you a ticket for BB Fest. And then, you're going to scan your ticket, you're going to get a station." What do y'all think about this way of splitting them into the different comps?
I
Rigged.
think, no, yeah, I was gonna say, I think it was really weird how like they all got the same the same thing right away. Big Brother was probably like shit, but I don't know. I think it was cool. Like it was random. We think, right? Like, yeah, yeah.
I saw on BB Twitter that it was like a 0.79% chance that they all four got porta potty. Not saying that it was rigged, but it kind of sounds rigged to me.
But hold on. If it was like so, like if it truly was rigged, they wouldn't have done the 4 in a row together. Like that's the reason why I believe that 0.7 chance is probably 100% what happened. Like I don't actually think it was rigged. You know, if I was Big Brother, I would try to eliminate people having conversations about whether Big Brother is rigged or not. And there's such easy ways to do it. Get a wheel, let them pick out of a hat. Like there's easy ways to do it. I just think the execution leads to these types of conversations that are so useless, so pointless.
Yeah.
Also, if every single station only had like one of the competitions, then the chances of them if they all went to different stations and didn't choose from the same one, the chances go way up that they're
Yeah.
all going to pick the same thing. I think what is that, like 25% at that point, right?
Well, except I think Paloma and Monty chose from the same station in the kitchen.
Rigged.
So obviously that wasn't the case. But that's what I like going in. I'm like, oh, okay, well they'll put in different stations 3 different choices. Obviously not what happened.
So, and then I also saw, and we'll get into it more whenever we talk about the actual competitions, but in I guess last season in 23, they moved in male female groups, and I think that this competition should have been done like that, because there was some definite, not in particular one competition, the merch one, like you didn't need to have men competing against women there. So
But
yeah.
it's random. I actually had a feeling. I thought Alyssa might have a good chance, because like I don't know, like I think there might be some really strong women that are like less heavy than the men that could have actually lasted holding on to that merch longer. I think it just so happened that like the women that randomly evidently got that were physically weaker women, and
We'll see.
like, I don't actually know what Daniel does. Outside, I don't know what it means to be a Vegas Elvis person, but
A lot of
to be
strength,
on stage,
a lot of bulk.
like I'm sure he's quite strong, right?
Yeah.
And that certainly helped him.
And we can dig into it more, but I think I like them moving into the house in groups and competing with the same gender. Just a thought, comparing it to last year. I just
But
like that better. And I don't like the fact that we end up with 3 men competing for HOH. Like,
doesn't them
been
actually
there, done that.
but doesn't that them competing by gender potentially make them closer? Like if 4 men moved in together or 4 women moved in first, they're slowly waiting for all of the other house guests to come in. So in that hour, 2 hours, however long they're waiting for that competition to happen, they actually have time to bond, and it gives them this unfair advantage. So
Well,
I
we
don't know.
have,
To me, it's
but
a
I mean,
more random.
this was a live move-in, so,
It was live, Kylie. It wasn't live. It was not. It was
not live.
I also think that if you make it like male and then female over here, I think randomizing it is actually more fair to everyone in that sort of sense that anyone can win any competition. We're not gonna say that the girls in the hanging thing couldn't have won. You know what I mean? So why
but
not randomize it? Anyone can win that competition.
I think the most fair is just plop
Everybody.
them all in. Just plop them all into the house at the exact same time. That will completely equal everything out in terms of fairness. From a TV perspective, it's really hard to do.
I
All
like
right,
one
well,
competition. I like when they were all putting the drums together. I was like, I wish that was the first half hour of the show. Them like talking to each other for like 15 minutes, and then boom, you're gonna compete right now. It's a puzzle, and then they all do the same puzzle. One person wins, and
yeah.
then they can I don't know.
Yeah, I can get behind that too. I like that idea a little bit
Oh,
better. Okay, we got a guest appearance, Kevin Guillory.
Listen, I had to get out the chat. I wanted to come chat with you guys for a little bit. And last I was hearing,
Evan
last
is
I was hearing,
driving,
I am.
and I think this might be against the law in the state of Nevada, but let's figure it out. Let's see what happens.
Listen, I love. Last I heard, you guys were talking about the groupings that came in,
Mhm.
right? So I'm with Sheldon. If you come in between the live bits when they're like chatting, if you just have all the guys or all the girls there, they're not going to be able. They're going to be able to bond stronger, and that's when you get those like all male alliances, all female alliances. And so by having them come in with a mixed gender situation, you'll be able to have them have a more robust bonding situation while they're standing around waiting for group 3 to come in and group 4 to come
But
in.
is that what we got last season on 23? Because they moved in male and female groups last season. We did not
Yeah,
have
look,
an all males alliance.
We might be completely and totally overanalyzing this.
Yes, completely, and it's really not that important.
I was just gonna say I completely agree that like instant connections can be made because you're looking for comfortability. So if someone's like, "Hey, I really like your vibe," that goes a long way. But day 15 comes around, you're not worried about who you're standing next to while people are putting piercings in their ears. There's alliances now. You know what I mean? They've gone,
Yeah, and I mean, there's no doubt that no matter what group you move in with, in those few minutes where you're getting to chat, you're going to be like, oh, hey, we're keeping each other safe, right? I mean, that's happening with all the groups, whether it's males, females, it doesn't matter. But moving on from that, Julie also tells us that in addition to these 3 stations, there is going to be a backstage boss. No, we don't want a backstage boss, Julie.
I do.
No. Let's wait until the end to talk about the details of it. But I will foreshadow. Absolutely no, thank you, Julie.
Yeah, no, thank you. We don't like this.
Refund, return for refund where applicable. That's what I want to happen here.
All right, so our second group moving in, we get Alyssa, Daniel, Taylor, and Michael. This is probably my least favorite group as a whole.
Yeah.
Yesterday when we talked, none of us were super high on Alyssa. The only thing that I really got from her that I thought was like, okay, this is kind of cool. It does seem like she is a fan. And she talked about her mom like lining them up against the fence and spraying them with water hose. And I kind of love that. But other than that, she's there.
Taylor continued to be the star that she is going to be. I am a little worried as to whether she'll be able to rein in her everything because she could be a lot.
I wrote down intense.
I'm worried that if people see that she's a lot too fast, it might be dangerous. I still think she has the skills. I also have to say, I love Michael. I actually liked him even more today than I did yesterday. He's a lot kookier than I thought yesterday, and he's obviously a genius, obviously. But I think that all the kookiness is going to be able to calm it down, and I think he's going to be here for a while. This gentleman.
Yeah, Michael held the door first and foremost. And second of all,
that's why I came here. That moment right there. So as a lot of people know that the first person to go in has never won. I don't think they've ever won.
Yep.
And,
except for Tamar.
And Michael, that doesn't count.
It was the best.
Michael went knowing his big brother history. He looked into it, got to the door first, Sit after you, Miss Taylor. Let's go ahead and give you that,
Yep.
that loss. I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah, and I
It's
think
okie doke.
I honestly think Michael, like, just thinking of just like seeing tonight how he interacts in like any scenario, he just seems like someone who, Sheldon, like you said, he seems like a genius, but I mean, I wouldn't want to vote him out. Like, he just seems so like easygoing,
I,
and fun, and
I
you know,
also think he's extremely socially aware.
yeah.
I think he's going to be a danger in this house.
Mhm.
Can't wait.
And his nickname is probably Mike, so he's gonna be great. He's gonna do great.
So we also got to see more behind the scenes about Daniel. He does not perform on a bridge in Las Vegas, Kevin. He is a Vegas Elvis.
Elvis.
Like I told y'all
Elvis.
yesterday, and I'm not gonna lie, like when he is in his little Elvis get up and he's attractive, okay? And I told y'all when he put the hat on and he covered the stringy hair up that he was gonna be hot, and I was not wrong.
I liked him more than I thought I would. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, same.
Which is why I thought it was interesting that you said this was your least favorite group coming in, because this was my favorite group coming in, because I already liked Taylor and Michael, and then I was fine with Alyssa personally, and then Daniel really like grew on me with his package, his video package, video package.
Kevin, relax.
Tell us more. Did his package grow on you on the bridge?
No,
Under the
because he's a Elvis performer. So I really enjoyed though. I really enjoyed it, and so this was my favorite group. And then especially with Michael's move of pulling the door, especially because Taylor was not prepared to be the first one to walk in there. Now, mind you, they're the second group to walk in, so it doesn't really matter. But they don't know that when they're going in. They don't know what group they are.
I want a season to come along where all 4 of the people moving in together are super fans, and they're all like, "Go, go, go!"
Well, it wasn't just Michael holding the door. It was him looking at the camera and being like, y'all thought y'all got me. Y'all thought y'all got me. That was,
Ain't happening. I would just like for all 4 people to just like stand there, like, go. I'm not going.
Yeah. I like Daniel a lot, like in his intro, and then you know, seeing him come in. Are we on to the challenge? We haven't talked about that yet.
No, we got there, Mike. Mike, we go step by step. Mike, come on.
Okay. Sorry. I'm trying to jump the gun, but yeah. I mean, I liked him. I liked his first impressions.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say.
So, third group, we have Nicole, Turner, Joseph, and Brittany. And
before we get there, I only showed up to talk about Michael holding the door. I loved it. I wanted to make sure I came in and spoke about that. You 3 are doing a great job. Well, Kiley and Sheldon are doing a great. Well, Sheldon, you're doing a great job as always, right? Mike and Kiley are also here. So Sheldon, keep it up. Keep doing what you do. I'll see you guys soon.
That's really rude. That's really rude. To Kiley and Mike, they're doing amazing.
Oh yeah, they're fine.
Well, to Kiley, I know I'm doing great, but you know,
Mike,
Kevin.
I'm used to Kevin shitting on me. I don't even care. I will take his ass right off of this stream.
Love you guys.
Thanks,
keep
Kevin.
it up. I'll see y'all.
All right. So